2024 is an absolutely special year because my YouTube channel celebrates its 10-year anniversary. For just only this year, if you would like to support me, you can do that now via visiting paypal.me/BrettCaliber. But if you do not like to do any charity, you can help yourself by buying a Windows 10 or 11 Pro retail key for still $12.50 only. That would also greatly support me. Anyway, I want to thank you all for 10 years of your amazing support. Hi everyone, welcome to this video about NGVO 2.0, the next generation visual overhaul for Skyrim Special Edition and Skyrim Anniversary Edition. So for the ones who are completely new to this Wabbajack, so we're going to handle the Wabbajack. This is an all-in-one auto installer, so the easiest way to install Skyrim mods, because it is as simple as a single double click running the script and it will do everything automatically for you. A really popular and the way to go when it comes to Skyrim modding, in my opinion. Even if you want to change things, you can do that afterwards, because you will get a fully set up mod organizer too. And if you're into modding, you have all the flexibility to mod your game to your liking. And if you don't necessarily want to change things, this is even better maybe for you, because you can just double click, install it, and it will do everything for you. So a while ago I did do this video already about the previous version from NGVO, the version 1.7. Well, regarding installation, nothing really much has changed, but I will handle the installation also in this video. If you want to go there right now, click on the timestamps in the video description. But for the ones who already have version 1.7 and would like to know first what has been changed with this new version 2.0, well, quite a lot actually. So first, what's the biggest difference I think is this version 2.0, the performance has been greatly increased. So they optimized the Modlist for better resource management, meaning your CPU and GPU can handle most high quality mods way more efficiently. So that means in real life, fewer stutters, you have faster loaded times, and just a smoother experience overall. The first thing you probably notice if you install version 2 is that this has a different ENB. It looks more realistic and more lore friendly. The thing is, I liked version 1.7. It has a nice, bright, vibrant ENB, especially for showcases like me. It has great close-ups. But the thing I did notice, and that's usually with these more vibrant ENBs, is that in very bright weather conditions, it can look a little bit off. It's great for close-ups, you know, for nice bright shots in the world. But eventually, I think people will download this Wabbajack because they want to play Skyrim. And for that, I think it's important to keep the look and feel of the original Skyrim. However, of course, with very updated, good graphics, but not trying to diverge too much from the original lore-friendly Skyrim look. And that is what this ENB does fantastically well. So I can't find it really officially in any patch notes. Maybe I missed it, but in my opinion, this new ENB, it reduces the more overly bright lighting from the old version and fixes also like things like flickering shadows, which sometimes can cause these very bright weather types with the old ENB. So now it gives a more consistent lore-friendly look in all weather conditions, and yeah, it just balances brightness and contrast better in my opinion. So then also looking a little bit about the more important mods which have been added. First one is Bender, and what Bender does is, long story short, it enhances the visual realism a bit by improving things like ambient light, color gradients, and this gives the game environments a bit more of a cohesive feel. So it's a subtle improvement, but it also adds depth to the lighting dynamics in the game. So one of the reasons why performance is so much better is the use of Grass Cache. Grass Cache is a better option for Skyrim Special Edition because it offers two significant advantages over the game's default grass system. So first, you have the improved performance, and it works by normally the game dynamically generates grass every time a new area or a cell is loaded, which puts quite a strain on your CPU. But by using this pre-generated grass cache, the game no longer has to calculate and create grass in real time. So instead, it reads the pre-generated grass data from the cache, and that will just improve the overall performance and reducing stuttering, which is really important, especially for dense areas like Riften and Fograt. So, and also especially in combination with these heavily modded setups like NGVO. And also what it comes with is the eliminating grass in objects. So the no grass in objects, the NGVO mod, and it relies on the grass cache, preventing grass from growing through solid objects like rocks, walls, or stairs, which you sometimes see a lot in different mod setups. So this provides a cleaner and more immersive visual experience, and yeah, it just avoids the unnatural appearance of grass clipping through surfaces where it shouldn't grow. You know, we probably have seen this a lot of times. Usually mods have lots of issues trying to get this right, but these two benefits, so performance improvements and better visual accuracy, makes using a grass cache essential for users who want to have a smoother gameplay experience with a big mod list like this. So really something different than any other grass mods, and definitely has a huge performance improvement. And also version 2 of this mod list brings Dindalot 3 into the mix. Everyone probably knows Dindalot by now, the amazing tool to generate LOT. So Dindalot, and for the ones who are unfamiliar with it, Dindalot enhances distant object LOTs. So that means things like mountains, buildings, and trees. They will look much more detailed when viewed from a distance. So you're no longer going to see these blurry or low quality distant textures. Everything just looks very sharp and cohesive, and I have to say, this Modlist does it so well. And first, I always, never really cared much about Dindalot years ago, but seeing the difference between Dindalot and something like TestLotGen really is a world of difference. So yeah, and it's all implemented, you know, it's really nice to see it being all done for you. You don't need to do anything yourself unless you want to use different landscape mods, but we'll come to that later. And so yeah, lots of new mods have been added. So going to more specific mods which you can actually see as an addition to the game. One of the bigger ones, I think, is Nature of the Wildlands version 3. So definitely one of my personal favorites. Nature of the Wildlands 3 completely overhauls forests and trees in Skyrim, making them much more dense and realistic. So not only trees itself are overhauled, but it completely overhauls entire forests, and that's really something which is very welcome, because we are so familiar to the forests, you know, and just seeing simple grass and trees overhauls. This mod does way more than that. So what this means is you'll notice more variety in foliage, and overall it gives the entire wilderness a more alive feeling. And that's very needed for a game which dates back from 2011. Also, I think finally now, when we're talking about grass cache, we have a new grass mod, and that is called Skoglendi, if I'm pronouncing it right. And finally, this is a grass mod which I'm really happy with, because I normally always install Folkvanger and Origins of Forest. I think it's the best unbeaten combination. However, this grass mod finally looks amazing out of the box. So finally we don't have to install additional custom mods. Also, I would like to point out, if you want to do it, changing the landscape mods is a bit of a pain to do. It has extra instructions. Unfortunately, you can't just add it on top of it and it all just works. But out of the box, I have to say this grass mod looks really good. So Skoglendi, wow, it's hard to pronounce apparently. The new grass mod, it's one of the better looking grass mods. It's very similar to Folkvanger. It's super lush, diverse, and immersive, and it just makes the landscapes in Skyrim feel really stunning and nice. It's very realistic looking. It's swaying grass. It's you're going to see it in game. It just really is awesome. So whether you're just hanging around in Falkreath or Riften, this mod makes all the grassy environments feel so more vibrant. And I think one of the last mods I should notice are the optional nude body mods, which are very popular. I see them all around when I want to download an armor mod. that you have all kind of body slides for body types like 3BA, BMP, and TNG. I don't know exactly where they stand for, but I do know they have a lot of, well, bouncing body parts, if you know what I mean. Apparently this is stuff which is very popular to Skyrim modders, and these body mods, these body types I should say, have been added in this mod list as well. They are disabled by default, but you can simply enable them if you really want to like have one of these specific body mods. And yeah, there's so much more added to this mod list, and yeah, it's such an amazing compilation of such high-tech mods that I think this is definitely a mod list you should try. You know, it comes with a simple Wabbajack and all-in-one auto installer. So for the ones who are waiting for the installation instructions, I would say let's dive right into it. Alright, let's start with instructions. I'm trying to go through this a little bit faster since I did do a detailed explanation already in the previous video. So first thing you want to do is, if you have modded your Skyrim Special Edition, you need to do this. If you have never modded your Skyrim Special Edition, you can ignore this. But in either way, you want to have a clean version of Skyrim Special Edition. The easiest way is to go to Steam, go to Manage and uninstall the game. And after that, you want to go to your Steam library and your Windows Explorer, Steam Apps, Common Skyrim Special Edition, so like the installation folder where this game was installed in, and delete any remaining files in there, or just delete the entire folder. And then also you want to go to your My Documents, My Games, and then to Skyrim Special Edition. And if you're using the Steam version, backups, save games should be automatically backed. If you're using the GOG version, I would suggest you make a copy of those save games. Then once you've done that and you made sure you deleted those two folders, install Skyrim Special Edition again. However, do not install it in C Program Files or Program Files 86. By default, the Steam library is installed in here. You want to select the option of Manage Steam Libraries. An example, I can show you that with the regular Skyrim. It's probably, it's going to ask here, or else you have an option here, this one, to manage storage. Create a folder and don't use Program Files or Program Files 86. An example, just use C Games Steam, an example, that's better. So make sure to reinstall Skyrim Special Edition. And then also what you want to download and install is the Skyrim Special Edition Creation Kit. Make sure you install and launch it one time, because else the Wabbajack installer will fail somewhere halfway. So do that, and then also once Skyrim Special Edition finishes downloading again, start it at least once to make sure it generates the necessary files. And if you're using the Anniversary Edition, that it actually does download all the mods and small files. Then you should be good to go, and then we can continue with the next step. Then it is time to download Wabbajack itself. So go to the website, download the exe file, and once it has been downloaded, you can run it and install Wabbajack somewhere not in your program files folder as well. Install it, an example, in C Programs Wabbajack, or on the location where you do have enough of space. I would like to point out, please install the Modlist in the same SSD as you have installed your Steam and your Skyrim Special Edition. It's not necessarily needed, or not needed at all, I should say, to install it in the same folder. But please use the same SSD where the game is installed, and there also install Wabbajack on there. So an example, Programs Wabbajack, or something that you like. Once you installed Wabbajack, you can open it up and you should see something like this. So here you can browse Modlist. Sorry, this is not what you see. This is what you see. You can browse Modlists, and you should see all these fancy Wabbajack mod lists. So we want to search for NGVO, and it's already here. If you can't find it, you have to search here under NGVO. In the past, this was an official list, but it has now been made official. So you can click on NGVO and click on this play button, download mod list. All right, here we have the README already. What you want to do is the following. This is probably empty for you, but I already have it installed, so it's filled in. You want to select for the Modlist installation location a folder on the same SSD where you have installed Skyrim Special Edition. So an example, I have created a folder called Wabbajack install packs. and then name it NGVO. Why? Because if you want to use more than one Wabbajack, you can actually do that. But yeah, make sure to keep everything nice and separated. So just create a folder somewhere, Wabbajack install packs, and then once you've done that, this should also be automatically filled in, and then click on the play button. All right, what you want to keep in consideration is most likely it will fail somewhere halfway. Usually that's because if you have a slow internet connection, the larger files have a bit of a trouble to download, and usually somewhere it times out on Nexus mods. The solution is relatively simple. You just run the Wabbajack again, and already downloaded files are cached already, so you don't need to worry about those files which are already downloaded. So you have to do that, unfortunately, a couple of times. And if it still keeps failing, what you want to do is log out of Nexus mods through Wabbajack and log in again. For me, that fixes mostly my issues when it comes to not being able to download the files. Once the Wabbajack finally finished installing, go to the folder of NGVO and you want to search for this file called modorganizer.exe. You want to create a shortcut to this modorganizer.exe and put it on your desktop. Then I would suggest you name it something like NGVO. Once you've done that, you can double click on it and it will open up Mod Organizer. In here, everything has been set up for you already. This is one of the few Wabbajacks I know which do exist, which have pretty much everything already installed for you. And what's great is that this mod list can be added and expanded and modified. And you know, that's such an amazing way how Mod Organizer works. You can add mods on top of it, add followers, add weapon packs, all relatively easy. And I'm going to show you a little bit later how you can do this. So only thing I can think of, if you do not have an NVIDIA GPU, so if you have an AMD GPU, you want to go in here and follow these instructions first. Make sure to do that. And for the rest, that's pretty much it. So what you want to do now, for every time you want to play a game, if you want to play Skyrim Special Edition modded via this, you want to go on here in the upper right corner and click on Run to start NGVO via this icon. This is Skyrim Script Extender. So never ever again go to your Steam and launch Skyrim Special Edition from there, because it will auto-update the game again and you don't want to do that. You want to always start the game from here. So I recommend to create a shortcut to this, and then you can rename it to Skyrim Special Edition, NGVO, something like that. But always make sure to, you know, start it via Mod Organizer 2 or create a shortcut and start it from there. And that's pretty much it. So you want to go into the game now. A lot of things will be loaded. Probably the first time it can take up to a minute or two before you actually are able to launch a game, and it will start a new game with all the mods being loaded. So do that now, and yeah, I would say enjoy the game. And from here, I'm going to continue explaining some of the mods I love and how to add them into the game. So first, start your game, get into the game, get accustomed to the new look and feel of this modded Skyrim Special Edition. Alright, some way to install mods after the tutorial. I'm going to quickly go through here. If you want to have the detailed instructions, I suggest you watch the old video. However, this is more of a reminder. So what you want to do first is go to Mod Organizer, and you want to right click here and you want to create separator. On here, type in something like mods after the tutorial. Once you've done that, you should see a section here, mods after the tutorial. You want to drag and drop it right above the flat map framework. The reason for that is that we want to have mods above this flat map framework, because else if you have a mod that has specific meshes, it will mess up the world map. So that's not something we want. So create a separator, name it mods after the tutorial here, and under here we're going to install all of our mods. So which mods I'm still using, if you're wondering? Well, I think all textures look fantastic. The only thing I do not really like are the mines, caves, and forts and dungeon textures. I think the Clever Sharp ones still look very, very good and actually better, if I'm really honest. So I'm still using those. If you want to have them, I'll edit them in the video description. So as a quick reminder how to download and install mods on top of a current mod list, you want to go to Files, and you want to download. In this case, I would definitely recommend the 4K version. So to click on Mod Manager Download. What will happen is if you go to your mod organizer and if you click not on plugins but on downloads and you scroll all the way down, the mod will appear here as downloaded. Here you see all installed, but it will appear as downloaded. What you want to do then is right click on this downloaded mod, click on install, follow the installation instructions, and you can press OK, and the mod will appear here. So what you want to do then is drag and drop that mod and place it under mods after tutorial here. In that case, it will be loaded above flat map framework. And then it could be that if the mod has a plugin, so an ESP, then you also want to drag and drop it above flat map framework. So in example, under outputs or something, I have it now drag and dropped to make sure it is above flat map framework. If you do that pretty much with all the mods, you should be fine. So if you want to expand your game even more with other mods I'm not using, do it like this and you should be fine. So that is the way how to expand mods on top of this mod list. So what mods was I'm using again? So the clever sharp ones, fort and dungeons, the mines, the caves, and what is it? Yeah, realistic lock, but this is not super important. But these three I actually do love, and I have those three installed. So again, how to install: click files, download the 4K version with the mod manager download, files, etc. Go to mod organizer, go to the downloads, scroll all the way down, right click, install, press OK, select an options form. They appear here. Drag and drop them here under mods after tutorial, and do the same for the plugins if they have an ESP. So if they have an ESP, drag and drop it, in this case under outputs, so it is above flat map framework. And if you're not 100% sure, watch my previous video, I explained it in more detail there. So the clever sharps are the mods I'm using for experimental use and testing things. I still have Skyrim cheat engine, and it's also very handy if you have downloaded armor and weapon mods, because you can immediately spawn them without having to use the console commands. So like player.add items, spamming that all the time. This mod really saves you a lot of time for testing things. I wouldn't necessarily use it for a real playthrough unless you want to use specific items and armors which you want to easily spawn. But this mod really helps by giving you lots of things to check out and test. So really handy for that. Then for also testing graphics and stuff, I have this one, the Fenrix Weather Changer. What it does is simply allowing you to change weather. And for you, especially when using showcases, I always use this mod to test out different weather types in combination with time of day. So an example, 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon in combination with clear weather gives the brightest weather. But yeah, if you do it, an example, at 5 p.m. and having a cloudy weather, you have beautiful God rays. So experimenting with time and weather really gives you great variety in graphics. So this is also a mod I'm using. And last but not least, for now, I would say the biggest one is our two weapon mods I'm using. First one is the Silverthorn Weaponry, which I think is the best looking weapon mod as an addition, like an addition weapon pack. So really amazing mod. You can go to files, just download the entire pack via mod manager download and install it. For the rest, you don't need to do any special things by activating it, and of course making also sure the plugin and the mods are placed above flat map framework, and the same for the plugin. And last but not least, vanilla weapon replacer. I think this is very essential. The quality in weapons is so exceptionally good, and you see that in my videos as well. When I'm holding weapons, this is such a big difference when it comes to immersion. I would absolutely recommend installing this. So how to do that? Go to files, download it via mod manager, download, and also download the patch file. Make sure to go to downloads, install those both. And first you want to install the vanilla weapon replacer, and then you want to install the patch up. And then let's say this doesn't even come with an ESP. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the weapon mods. Then one last thing which I think is definitely worth noticing. In the past, I always used the Folk Vanger grass mod in combination with Origins of Forest. To be really honest, I still think they look a bit better than the grass which is currently used now. However, I think in combination with all the mods, the grass in combination with the grass cache, so this special technique, looks really good in this mod list. The problem is, if you want to install any other grass mods or plant mods, you need to disable lots and lots of things, and I'll show you the special instructions right now here on the screen. And this is quite a hassle, because if you disabled everything, you have to run Dindulot again and regenerate textures. And yeah, to be really honest, for me, Dindulot crashed. It says it couldn't find a file, so to be honest, I would leave it as it is. If you really want your own landscape and or grass mods, you know, then sure, go ahead and do it via this method. But I would it as it is. I think this grass mod, especially in combination with the grass cache and all the special preparations, look absolutely fantastic. It looks at least as good as Folkvanger in my opinion. So leave it as it is, you know. In theory, you could just blindly play this without any other mod, but I definitely would recommend installing at least the vanilla weapon replacer. I think that makes such a world of difference. And that's pretty much it for this update. So I think if you really want to do a new Skyrim playthrough with, you know, having still the original vibe of Skyrim, having the how do you say it, like the lore feeling, the more vanilla graphics, but still making it look very beautiful, very 2024-ish, this version 2 of the NGVO is the way to go. This is, it can't be done easier in my opinion. It can't be done easier. Literally the only thing you have to do, download the Wabbajack, install this mod list, and boom, you're good to go. So let me know if you're going to play through Skyrim with this again in 2024. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you at one of the next videos.